Gambling Parlor here on Dead Money Sports, brought to you by the NFL Contest Show. It's your host, Jesse, back with you for week 9 of the NFL season, and it's the Thursday Night Football watch party in the Circa Lines release show. It's Halloween, or almost, tomorrow, but we've got our NFL action tonight between the Dolphins and the Ravens in Miami. Released the picks earlier today for tonight's game. We do have some bets on this one. We've got the under 50.5. We've also got the parlay. Devon Achane over 40 receiving yards, Derrick Henry over 100 rushing yards, and Zay Flower anytime touchdown score. Add those three together, it's plus 825. So you've got those individual bets going in. We've also got the under 50.5. So gonna need them not to score too many points, but we definitely need Zay Flowers to score a touchdown early to get that one out of the way would be nice. But yeah, here we are with the Thursday Night Football watch party and the Circa Lines release show. Before we get into week 9 of the spreads for the Circa Million contest, a quick recap of last week's results. We went 3-2, 12-8 in the second quarter, 23-17 on the year, sitting in, I believe, 500, basically 500th place, 3 points behind the paid positions right now. So we really need to step it up here in week 9. Potato Commish, who's somebody I've followed on X for a while now, is just killing it. I think he's had back-to-back 5-0 weeks, sitting at 31-9, and I believe he's got a good opportunity to cash for the quarterly prize as well. So Mike Betts is sitting at 18-2 right now for the second quarter with one more week to go. And then you've got the last place finishers right now for the full season, 9-31. I mean, imagine if you were fading that guy right now. You'd be even with Potato Commish if you just bet every opposite of every one of these guys here's bets. And this one here, NFL Runner, all 5 of his are in the tank. I mean, it's pretty bad. That's $5,000 worth of entries that you're putting, I guess, all your eggs in the last place basket. At least you should have had one of these that was fading your picks to the other direction. I guess not. But we've got Potato Commish 31-9, Frank James at 30-10. Then we got 6 entries at 29, and then it goes down. And as I said, these are the final paid positions at 26-14. We're sitting at 23-17. So really need that 5-0, 4-1 this week, week 9. I like to be at 30 points to 31 points by this point. So to be within striking distance of that, just needing to put together 2 really good weeks back-to-back to get us right back on pace. Certainly be a great start to the second half of this contest would be to be sitting at 28-17 after this week's matchups. Next up, Survivor for Week 8, the big loser. I tried to warn everyone about the Atlanta Falcons that I did not like them. My favorite team. I know when they're eating the cheese, when they're reading their own press clippings, and when they're gonna shit the bed, and that's exactly what they did against Miami. I should have put them in the contest. Should have put Miami plus the 7.5 because I knew that was a bad spot for Miami. But again, I just didn't want to. I didn't want to root against my own team there, so it's always hard to try to thread that needle of saying, I want my team to win, but I need the other team to score points too. Like that, it's never a good spot to be in. Well, we've got points in the Thursday Night Football game. Miami, first one on the board. With a field goal. They were the Ravens were 7.5 point favorites on the road in this game, and a lot of people were talking about how much they like the Ravens I had my reservations. That's why we're not using Thursday Night Football for the contest this week. Um, Although we've got some bets on this game. We're not using it in the Circa because 7.5 was just with Lamar coming back. It's his first game back. I don't know. I think Miami will keep it close. I mean, they're at home. They played well last week. Let's see what happens. But back to the Circa Survivor Week 8. Devastating loss. Nearly over 50% of the field were eliminated last week. The Falcons with 1,387 entries out of I think it was 4,200 or so. And then the Bengals right there, the number 3 pick, 765. Over 2,000 entries eliminated last week. We are just rolling into week 9 with 2,057 entries remaining out of the original 18,600. $18.6 million on the line. If you've made it this far, congratulations. Your applied value of your entry is now $9,100. So essentially, if you wanted to put that up on the market that they have to sell these survivor entries, you're looking at around $9,000, maybe $10,000, for somebody to buy these entries right now. And it also depends on what teams you have left, because you do have the 2 island weeks with the holidays. So you got to see that always plays a part in it. But, man, then the 49ers won 4 no picks. So those were the only losses last week. Colts got it done in easy fashion. That was a no sweat. Patriots were basically a no sweat. Eagles handled business. Same thing with Buffalo. Chiefs look great. Bucks got it done against the bad Saints team. Chargers, same thing on Thursday night. These here Baltimore Ravens with their backup quarterback got it done. I was so disappointed in myself on that one because I made a big deal about putting the Ravens minus 6.5 in last week's picks because Lamar Jackson was eventually ruled out. They ended up getting the cover anyway. So it would have been bad because you would have had a stale, bad line at minus 6.5 with Baltimore, but didn't matter. They got it done anyway. Grandissimo, 2 entries on the Falcons last week, so that's another $200,000 worth of entry fees right down the drain. I mean, obviously you made it this far into the contest, but man, $6.9 million. This was a $100,000 buy-in survivor contest with 69 entries to start, and we are down to 13 entries remaining. I said this won't make it to Thanksgiving. Doesn't look like it will. I believe if we get to 3 entries, we'll see a chop. And now the week 9 lines for the Circa Million contest. As I mentioned, Ravens minus 7.5 on the road. Didn't like it. Wasn't going to use it. I've bet on Baltimore quite a few times in my betting history with Lamar Jackson, and one thing I've learned is this team will get out to a lead, and then they will squander double-digit leads. So I just couldn't do it. Not with him on his first week back from injury. If he had been playing this whole time, that's a different story. But the fact that he's been out and hasn't been competing, in the game situations for at least a month, I believe. It's been 4 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks since he's played. I think it's going to take him a minute to knock the rust off, and that would let the Dolphins back door. But at the same time, I could see the Ravens blowing him out. Lamar performs well on Thursday Night Football, and he likes to play in Miami. It's his hometown. Oh, and he dropped it. 4th down, Baltimore's going to have to punt. We've got the Bears and Bengals. We've got some question marks about the Bengals quarterback situation. Originally, they were talking about Flacco had a sprained shoulder. He wasn't going to play maybe. But from all indications, he was practicing today. It's Thursday, and the player said he looked good. So is he going to play? Probably. And this line moved away from the Bears towards the Bengals right before these lines came out from 2.5 to 3, where you're getting a full 3 with Cincinnati. And if it's Joe Flacco, I think that this might be a mispriced number because the books were originally expecting Jake Browning, and now we're seeing that it's going to be potentially Joe Flacco. And if it is Flacco, I like Cincinnati plus the 3. The Bears have they've been good. They lost last week, but they were living off turnovers. The offense still hasn't gotten it all together, and they're banged up. Swift didn't practice. Odunze's dealing with an injury. Moore's got a groin injury, which those are always troublesome because he could easily re-injure it, re-aggravate it during the game and then not play anymore. And the Bengals, they're pretty healthy. They've still got Higgins and Chase. Chase Brown looked good last week. The offensive line was blocking well in the running game. Samaje Perine's giving them some added receiving out of the backfield and a power runner. So I think the Bengals may have something going here. And the Bears aren't really the strongest defense, and their offense is, hit or miss with Caleb Williams. He still makes a lot of terrible plays and tries to ad-lib too much instead of sticking with the designed part of the play. He's missing open receivers because he's too busy trying to scramble around and loop backwards to bootleg out around to the side to avoid the rush. So I'm kind of leaning. There we go. Is that Achane? Oh no, he fumbled. Oh, and he got the ball. That's Baltimore's ball, and they're picking it up. Is he going to score? Wow, was that a fumble? That was a fumble. Baltimore's got the ball inside the 10-yard line. Ooh, that's a killer. Especially because we have Achane over 40 yards receiving. Oh, it was Washington. I saw the 4. I couldn't see his other number. Let's see. Is he out? Is he down? Oh, no. He's up all the way. He's on top of the Baltimore defender. And he's definitely in bounds when he recovers. Well, that's tough. Because you don't even make them earn it. If they score a touchdown here, you essentially gave them that free 7 points with where the ball is. But so I'm leaning Bengals right now. We need to wait for confirmation on the quarterback situation. But if it's Joe Flacco, I'm probably going to go with the Bengals plus the 3. Next up, we've got the 49ers flying across the country to take on the Giants. And I like San Francisco minus 2.5. There we go. Is he in? Oh, no, they're calling him down. Damn, we need him to get it to Zay Flowers, but getting Derrick Henry some rushing yards is always good too. We got him over 100. We need that for a part of our parlay. Yeah, he's not really good at that. The short yardage runs. It's just not where Derrick Henry excels. But I'm liking the 49ers. I mean, they've brought in some pieces for this defense to make up for some of their injuries. We've seen this new replacement middle linebacker. He's no Fred Warner, but he's playing well. I think Salah's coached him up well. The secondary's not bad. They got some decent guys in Lenore and Mustafa. So I think the San Francisco defense is underrated because of their injuries. We've automatically written them off. I threw it to Likely and incomplete. So they're going to kick a field goal here. And I think the 49ers offense is good. Are they going to have Brock Purdy back? We'll see. I mean, that obviously makes a big deal. We need to, make sure that we're getting the best players on the field. Ricky Pearsall hasn't practiced yet. That kind of sucks because I was hoping that he would be playing. But Kittle's back on the injury report too. That gives me a little concern, although he is practicing. So, they're going for it. There's Flowers. Oh, and he got it to Andrews. Touchdown. Touchdown. Damn, they had Zay Flowers running out into the flat, but he was actually covered. Damn. He was definitely the number one option, I think. Yeah, he ran out in motion. Yeah, they just lost. They just lost him. Henry's not even looking for the ball, so obviously Andrews must have been the number one receiver on that route. Man, I hate that. That's terrible for our under, and they just gave him free points with no time off the clock. Damn. I was hoping they were going to kick the field goal. Instead, they get the touchdown. Shit. And it's not even to the guy I need. It sucks. But I like the 49ers. I think they're better coached with Salah on defense and damn, I can't think of their coach now. Shanahan as creating their offense. Now, like I said, we need to watch the injuries because the Giants have injuries in the secondary. They lost Scatterboo. They really don't have a number one receiver. I know Jackson Dart's look good. He's making some plays here and there. But I know this is that fishy -2.5, though. This is that number that is always so favored. You know, everybody loves so much. And we've got 2 games this week with double-digit spreads, so we know those are more than likely going to be not very popular because, I mean, the Packers are great and the Rams are great, but we'll see. But so I'm feeling the 49ers right now. Another game where we need to keep an eye on the injuries. We need to, I mean, a bunch of their guys on defense came back, so we need to see who exactly is playing on offense, who's their quarterback. Next up, Falcons at the Patriots. Now, on the late night at the lounge on Monday night, I mentioned that we weren't going to be using the Falcons this week. But the more I've looked into this game, the more confident I am in Atlanta. But again, we need to see who's playing. Is Drake London going to play? Is Penix going to play? One of the things I've seen is that the Patriots at home are giving up 89% touchdowns in the red zone. So when a team gets in the red zone against New England, they're scoring touchdowns. The Falcons have struggled in the red zone. I mean, obviously last week they struggled at everything, but when it was Penix at quarterback, they could move the ball down there, and then when it got into those tight areas, he kind of struggled. And I know the Patriots are getting about 80 to 85% of the bets right now. And I know John Murray, the sportsbook manager for the Westgate, on his show mentioned that this is a pros versus Joe's game because a lot of the bets are coming in on the Patriots, but the pros, the big bettors, have been betting it on Atlanta to where it moved this line up. So, and the pro bettors are betting Atlanta plus the 5.5, and I tend to agree with them. And I know I keep saying it. I'm breaking my own rule. We are 3-1 with Atlanta this year, and the only one that we've lost in the contest was when they got shut out by the Panthers. So, I mean, I've had a good read on them this year as far as when to use them and when not to use them. So I need to, just make sure that they're the best option this week. But as of right now, the Atlanta Falcons are on the cusp of making the top 5 selections for us again for the 5th time, which is a record by far for my Circa Millions selections anyway. And this is kind of, a team. We were on the Patriots last week against Cleveland, but that was just a bad spot for Cleveland with their rookie quarterback. Penix is a much more experienced quarterback with a lot better pieces to get the ball to. They need to run the ball. Atlanta needs to actually give the ball to Bijan Robinson instead of letting him carry it 8 times. I think he had against. That's a pass too, isn't it? Nice. That's more receiving yards for Achane. I think that was a push pass. Nice. Yeah, 2 receptions, 24 yards. All right. We're more than halfway there with his receiving yards. We need over 40 for one leg of our parlay. But this is also a contest play fading a team that is probably going to be popular, and there's got to be a moment where we're going to look to fade them, and I think this is a moment. Now I do also take into consideration that the Falcons are playing outdoors against New England, so that is a factor. We got to keep an eye on the weather because this is the time of year when it starts to get nasty around those parts of the country. Colts and Steelers. This game has got me flummoxed, man. I want to take the Colts so bad, -3, right? And just say, screw it, man. I mean, if they don't cover, they don't cover. But you can't tell me they're not a better team than the Steelers. Are we trying to be too sharp by saying, yeah, take Pittsburgh plus the 3? I mean, their defense does not look good. The Colts' offensive line is incredible. Their defensive line is shutting down the run, and the Pittsburgh Steelers don't run the ball well anyway, so they're going to be able to get after Rodgers without having the blitz. Now, their secondary gives us concern, but outside of DK Metcalf, they've got Wilson, their other receiver on the Steelers, and they got a bunch of tight ends. I don't know if the Steelers can score with the Colts. We've seen the Colts struggle at times. I mean, they struggled against Denver, which is a good defense. They struggled against the Cardinals, which has a mediocre, a middle of the pack defense, and an offense that was run by Jacoby Brissett, who is actually playing better than Kyler was playing prior to his injury. So I have all types of questions about why this line is so low, but I feel like, you know what? Sometimes there's just a free space. Sometimes you just have to say, I believe this team's going to win, and roll with it. But at the same time, the Colts are going to be uber popular this week. There's no way they're not going to be top 5. So that gives me pause. Do I want to be on the top 5 team? I want winners, right? I want winners. But do I want to be on that top 5? And I can almost guarantee the Colts. I think the Colts are getting 80% of the tickets right now. It's another one of those really lopsided betting sides. Oh, whoa, man, he almost threw a pick. So, I mean, I'm leaning Colts heavy to my 5 for this week's Circa picks, but I need to see if there's – it's hard to say there's a better spot when the team is 7-1, 6-2 against the spread. Sometimes teams just have really incredible seasons. It's just the way the football season works out. And I think that's what we might be seeing from the Colts. They've just had an advantageous schedule coinciding with a team under this coaching staff that is finally putting it all together. H-An on the run, man. We're going to go over this total. That touchdown on the fumble that's going to kill us. It was too easy for Baltimore to score there. Nice run by H-An. He got 26 yards, but most of it came on that run. 21 or 22 out of his 26. So proceed with caution on the Colts if you're going to go with them. But I can't say why you shouldn't. I know the Colts might struggle against these tight ends with the Steelers, but is that really how they're gonna win? I mean, they couldn't get it done against Green Bay on Sunday night at home with that crowd. I don't know. I really like the Colts here, and I know it's going to be super popular. Panthers and Packers. Is Bryce Young going to play for the Panthers? We don't know yet. He's trending towards it. Looks like Xavier Legette was on the injury report today. Although with Coker back, it's not really that big of a loss. He's not the best wide receiver anyway. He drops balls and doesn't get his feet down properly. He doesn't have good technique as a wide receiver. But 13.5, laying a big number with this Packers team after what they did against the Steelers. They won by 10, and most of that came in the second half. They've been slow starters, it seems like. And now you've got them taking on the Panthers team that just got blown out by Buffalo. We were on the Panthers, so I felt the pain of that one. I ended up turning that game off. It was just there was no even chance of getting a backdoor cover in that game. So it's just hard to get a pinpoint on this game with such a big number. I know it's not going to be popular, and I say double-digit favorites or double-digit favorites for a reason, but I think both double-digit favorites last week covered. So, sometimes the sports books will inflate these numbers for the favorites because they know, okay, they laid double digits last week and got it done. They're going to go back to the go back with the Packers, or the Rams, another double-digit favorite this week, and hope for them to get it done. And they it just might be too many points. Like I said, the Panthers can run the ball. The Packers defense is good. They rush the passer well. They can be run on, but they can, the Packers offense can also throw the ball and run it. And Jordan Love's playing at an elite level right now. He's very confident in that defense. In that offense for the Packers. Their special teams always gives me concern, though, which is a place where the Panthers could get a little bit of an edge. All right. So Miami's going to kick another field goal, huh? And he missed it. We needed that. All that time off the clock and no points. That makes up for the touchdown that the Ravens got. Beautiful. So they moved the ball all the way down the field, use up all that time off the clock, missed the field goal, and now Baltimore will start over at their own 17-yard line. Chew up that clock. Give that ball to Derrick Henry and let him run that ball. So I don't know if we're going to be on this Panthers-Packers game just because this number gives me concern. Do I really want to take that 13.5 with the Panthers? I don't know. We'll have to look and see what their running situation is going to be like and who's going to play quarterback. Vikings and Lions. The Lions have been a covering machine, taking on the Vikings, who got blown out on Thursday night by the Chargers. We were on the Chargers in the million. But this week it's going to be J.J. McCarthy at quarterback. And we've only seen a brief glimpse of him, and he didn't play all that great in the games that he started already. Now, he's talking in the media about pressing the reset button. Well, you missed your first year because of an injured leg, and now you've been re-injured again. Like, how many times are we going to have to reset this thing? But, it's hard to go against this Lions team, man. They're just a covering machine. The Vikings are good, though, and they've got really good skill players on offense. If J.J. McCarthy can just somehow complete some passes and not take sacks, they could certainly hang in this game. 8.5 is a big number, and I guess the Lions and the Colts. Like, are they just going to cover every week? I did a video. It's available on Dead Money Sports about the best against the spread seasons, and there's been some incredible ones, but those were like legit greatest teams of all time. A couple of them were pretty bad, though. There's a Detroit team on the list that had a great against the spread record but had a losing record straight up. But it was like the 89 49ers, the Falcons team that made the Super Bowl. There's a bunch of really high-scoring teams in those on that list. Is Detroit just one of those teams? Is their defense going to continue to just, be able to Band-Aid their secondary against these injuries? I know they are getting a few guys back, though. One dude was suspended for punching Juju at the end of the game. He'll be back. It's all about what is J.J. McCarthy going to do? I haven't seen a whole lot to be inspired by him so far this year. So, and Henry gets stuffed at the line. So it's hard to, say why I should take the Vikings, but at the same time, how many times during the season are the Lions going to just cover the number? They're a big favorite, 8.5. You don't get to be big favorites by accident, but at the same time, you're not going to cover every game. It just doesn't happen. So this is a toughie. I don't think this will make the card. I'm sure the Lions will probably be a popular side. The Vikings will get some selections, though, just because of the number. All right, come on, Zay. Get your touchdown already. I like that Lamar's looking for him, though. So this is a toughie. I don't think this one will make the card. Because with J.J. McCarthy, I just don't know what you're going to get. Next up, Broncos and Texans. Broncos lost Patrick Surtain. Texans are getting back Nico Collins and Christian Kirk. Christian Kirk doesn't really do anything for me, but Nico Collins, if he is back, that's a big deal. Some of these younger receivers for Houston have played okay. Their defense is outstanding, obviously. So is the Broncos. The Broncos can really get after the quarterback, and this Texans offensive line gives me concerns. I considered using Denver. It's still in the works. It could make the card because I think that they can outscore the Texans, and I think that the Broncos defense, I know they lost Patrick Surtain, but, I mean, they're still a good defense. They can still rush the passer, and I think they're going to get after C.J. Stroud, make him uncomfortable like we've seen other teams do, maybe make him make some mistakes. Just because the Texans beat up on a very depleted San Francisco 49ers defense last week, and, Mac Jones playing, his fourth game as a backup quarterback, which is usually when guys like that start to show why they're backups. I like Bo Nix's scrappiness. They found something in this combination of J.K. Dobbins and R.J. Harvey, so I think the Broncos will be able to run the ball. I know the Texans have been good. I mean, their defense is really good. They're holding teams to a low amount of points. But this is, I think this is a Broncos offensive line that'll be able to push those speed pass rushers around, bully them, and get this run game going, which will open up some throwing lanes for Bo Nix. So I like the Broncos here. I know a lot of people have been saying the Texans are the side, but I don't see it. Their offense has been bad. Their offensive line has been really bad. And just because they played one good game against a San Francisco 49ers team that had no pass rushers doesn't do it for me when you're going to face the Broncos, who have the best pass rushers just about, as a team. They lead the league in sacks. They're going to get after C.J. Stroud and maybe make him throw some interceptions. So I like the Broncos here. This one could make the card as well. This is in the top 6. I'm trying to narrow it down to 5. I have 6 games that I've identified, 7 games I've identified that I'm going to have to narrow down to 5. Chargers and Titans. This is probably one of the games that the Titans are going to cover the spread. The Chargers are not going to look to just blow this Titans team out. They're going to run the ball. I don't know. It's just weird. The Titans, sometimes they play okay during a game, and then you see why Ward is a rookie. This is another one of those games that's really difficult to cap at 8.5. But the Chargers are the better team. Obviously, their defense played really well. They got the mini bye off Thursday night. Titans have been horrendous against the spread. They're still got their intermittent or whatever it is, interim head coach right now, since they fired the head coach from the beginning of the season. I don't know what kind of effort you're going to get from this from this Titans team. But that's a big number to lay, but I don't know. I probably would. I don't think this is going to make the card. It hasn't made the top 7. It's another game that probably won't be too popular, but if it is, the Titans are going to be the popular side. I don't know. It's harder to lay 8.5 than it is to take 8.5. I would take the Chargers. We'll have to look a little bit deeper into this one, but how does Justin Herbert do outdoors? Jaguars and Raiders. Both teams coming off the bye. Jags coming off that back-to-back weeks in London, and they got the bye. The Raiders coming off a 30-0 shutout against the Chiefs right before the bye. Now they're 2.5-point dogs at home. but they are getting back some of their guys. Brock Bowers is back. If you look at their injury report, they're pretty much the entire team is healthy. Max Crosby practice limited today, as well as their other defender that was injured. A couple of their guys are practicing, so it looks like they're going to play. Jaguars are just I think they were a fake team. I don't know if the beginning of the season wins that they got were really who they were. They were just feasting on turnovers. If you notice, anytime they don't win the turnover battle, they're losing the game. That just shows that their offense isn't very cohesive. And it doesn't look, Brian Thomas is still dropping balls. He's injured. Travis Hunter, he's on the injury report. I think like 3 or 4 of the defenders are on the injury report. So a bunch of guys are out for are injured for the Jacksonville, while the Raiders are about as healthy as they've been all year. I have the Raiders plus 2.5 in my 7. And this one could make the card, because with Brock Bowers back, he really changes the dynamic of this offense. I think they'll go with a 2 tight end set to be able to run the ball with Genty. Maybe take some of the pressure off. Oh, another touchdown to Andrews. Sheesh. And it's the second quarter, too. But yeah. They're scoring points, ladies and gentlemen. They are scoring points in Miami. That first touchdown was bullshit, though. But so I like the Raiders here. I like the Raiders plus 2.5. I think this is the best they're going to be health-wise. Myers is healthy. Everybody's healthy, that could be. That's not on the IR. And now Jacksonville's going out west after their long trip in London. They're home for a week. Now they've got to go out west. They're not going to have a big fan contingent in Vegas like a lot of the other teams do. Jacksonville's not known for their teams traveling cross country for their games, so expect the Raiders to actually have a home field advantage every time. Every time. So I like the Raiders here plus 2.5, and it's in the final 7. It's in there with the Falcons, the Broncos, the 49ers. The Colts. Saints and Rams. Rams are getting back Nakua. Saints are going with a rookie quarterback. Just a bad spot for the Saints. I removed all of my Saints players from my fantasy team. Alvin Kamara has been a disappointment all year, but Olave's been good. But I don't know what kind of stats he's going to put up against this Rams team. We could see LA really put the hammer down on this Saints team. They were playing fantastic when they went into the bye, and they're getting even healthier with Nakua going to be back. Adams really shined while he was out, but now they're going to be back. The band's back together. Matthew Stafford with time off to rest his back up and get ready for the second half of the season, taking on this Saints team that's got to come out to SoFi, so they're not in the friendly confines of Mercedes-Benz Stadium. I don't expect the Saints to have a large contingent of fans. There's going to be some people out there in LA that want to root for the Saints, but for the most part, this will be a true home game for the Rams, and I could certainly see them blowing out this New Orleans team. So I would lay the 13.5. I'm actually going to add this. We need to look deeper into this, but I'm going to add this because this one right here, I say it all the time that double-digit favorites are double-digit favorites for a reason. This one makes more sense to me than the one with the Panthers and the Packers, because if anything, the Panthers can actually run the ball. We've seen that. We know that. They've got really good wide receivers in McMillan, Coker, I think it's Renfro, and then obviously Xavier Legette. They really got a good group there, and with the dual-headed running backs, we could certainly see them, they could score some points on this Packers team, and even though the Packers might end up winning, they don't cover that big number. But this Rams team, man, I don't know how the Rams defense is going to stop, or the Saints defense is going to stop the Rams offense, and I don't know where the offense is going to come for the Saints. They're talking about trading guys. Obviously they're starting the backup rookie quarterback because the Rattler just wasn't it. Kellen Moore's just had enough. I guess he's seen enough. Even though Rattler wasn't that bad, statistically anyway, the turnovers killed him in that last couple of games. Yeah, I'm leaning Rams minus the 11 or minus the 13.5. It's a big ass number to be laying, but it's a hell of a lot easier to take 13.5 with the underdog than it is to lay 13.5. Hopefully, this isn't one of those games that the books really inflating the number because of last week's results. Chiefs and Bills. This is the marquee game of the week. These two teams have played each other in the playoffs, I believe, 4 or 5 times. Every time they play in the regular season, Buffalo wins. When they play in the playoffs, the Chiefs win. Of course, the books make it that fishy 2.5 line. Are you going to take the 2.5 with the home dog? You're going to lay it with the road favorite that's got an MVP caliber quarterback, one of the best in the league, an offense that's humming, a defense that's playing really well, though they've beat up on inferior competition over the last couple of weeks. Oh, shit, he's wide open. What's the flag on? Is it coming back? He's mad. So why were they bringing it back? Illegal formation or something? This Bills-Chiefs game is going to be great. It won't be making the card because this is one of the games I want. It's the only game in the late slate that's actually worth watching unless you got money on the game. What is this? Oh, he tripped him. You can't do that. Oh, he looked like he fell. They called it on him, though. Yep, personal foul. Leg whip on the running back. Even though he really fell over, he tripped over his own feet. But he kicks his leg out there. I don't think so, but they're bringing it back. Good. We need him to slow down. That was a big play to Waddle. Why is he so mad at his teammate? Man, you got to calm down and get ready to play the next play. Bills and Chiefs. You almost have to take Josh Allen and the points at home in the regular season because this is when they win, right? The Chiefs beat them in the playoffs. The Bills beat them in the regular season. Isn't that how it works? I just think that this oh, he's out of bounds. I think this Kansas City offense is really humming though, man. They just got Rashee Rice back, who's been playing outstanding. You add him in with Kelsey and Hollywood Brown, and they lost Pacheco, but they've got Kareem Hunt. And then you add in his defense, man. I don't know. I think I got to go with the Chiefs minus the 2.5 in this game, but it won't make the card because it's too good of a game, and it's going to be too popular on both sides. I just think I'm going to avoid getting involved in this one, at least in the million. I might end up putting a bet on it because, again, it is the only game worth watching in the second window unless you've got – I wouldn't even – if I do put the Raiders in, I probably won't watch that game anyway. There we go. Achane, more receiving yards. Oh. Got tackled. Ankle tackled. Shit. That's all right. I believe he's somewhere around 30 yards receiving. So we're looking pretty good on that. 29. So we need 12 more yards receiving for that leg of the parlay. And the bet. Oh, Achane over 40 yards receiving. Plus 120. All the bets this week were plus money. I wanted a good parlay for the Halloween edition of Thursday Night Football and the Thursday Night Football watch party and Circa Lines Release Show. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And let the algorithm know if you want more of this content. Let them know. Let me know. I mean, I'm trying to add more stuff to the show to make it more entertaining. Giving winners is what I'm really all about. And playing, sweating out the contest picks. Keeping you updated on the current events in the contest. I know there's a lot of other sports betting related content in the NFL universe. But mine is more exclusively for the contest picks. I mean, my contest picks are often bets, but sometimes not. Because sometimes you got to go contrarian against the public. Like this Chiefs-Bills game. I'll more than likely have money on the Chiefs. I might do a money line bet, maybe a parlay with another team. But I probably won't use it in the millions contest just because I know both sides are going to be popular with the public. Because it's the game everybody's going to watch in the late window. So why not have some action on it by making it one of your 5 picks, right? That's how a lot of people think in this contest. You got to avoid those. Next up, the first of 2 Monday Night Football games. The Seattle Seahawks taking on the Washington Commanders. I like the Seahawks minus the 3. And I know this seems like the sucker side or whatever. It's the popular side. But this Mike McDaniel's defense is playing well, man. Their secondary is just confusing the shit out of these quarterbacks. Sam Darnold's playing outstanding. JSN is in the Offensive Player of the Year conversation. Mike McDonald. Yeah, is it McDonald? Yeah, Mike McDonald, the head coach, is better against the spread on the road than he is at home. We just saw Washington struggle. Is it going to be Mariota? Is it going to be Jaden Daniels? McLaurin is out for Washington. That's a big deal. This front four for Seattle can get pressure without needing to blitz, and they can play the run well, which is going to negate their running back for Washington, Bill. So I like Seattle in this one. I'm willing to go with the public. I know this is going to be popular side. And I've been so off on Seattle all year. Take this as a precautionary warning. My read on Seattle has not been the best. I faded them a couple times and lost. I bet with them and lost against the Bucks. Watch it, Lamar. Watch it, Lamar. Oh, that's good for us. I just don't want him to get hurt. I always want the best players playing. I hate, having to handicap the Bengals with, is it going to be Joe Burrow or fucking Jake Browning instead of or is it going to be Joe Flacco, or Jake Browning instead of going with Joe Burrow, where okay, this is going to be a good team with Joe Burrow at quarterback. You don't know, it's like you got to reevaluate the entire team based on the quarterback position. How is Jaden Daniels going to play coming back from that leg injury? Is he 100%, or is he just coming back early because Mariota hasn't been playing very well? Their defense has been tough. All right, Henry, there we go. That's a nice big run. Second down, get us some yards towards our over 100 rushing yards. We need him. We need him to get those numbers up. He's got 29 yards so far. We need 100. We need him to break one of those big long runs that he's known for. Those usually come in the second half when the defense is worn down. We definitely need that. We need the Ravens to jump out to a big lead and sit on it by running the ball. 3rd and 6. So that was a 14-yard run. Oh, he's throwing it deep. Oh, way out of bounds. He wants the call. Bateman wants the holding penalty, but he's not getting it. 4th down. So yeah, I'm leaning Seattle right now. I need to see more about where this team's gonna lie now there's a flag. Is it gonna be a popular side? I think so. Oh, He must have said something they didn't like. Unsportsmanlike conduct on Bateman, the receiver that he thought got held. He said something the refs didn't like. But yeah, I really like Seattle here because this defense for Washington has not played well. They don't get pressure on the quarterback, and when you don't get pressure on Sam Darnold, that's when he can really light you up because he's got the arm and he'll stand in the pocket. I mean, he's a tough guy. He will take a hit to deliver the ball. I just hope they don't come out flat off the bye. But if Buffalo is any indication, it was earlier in the season I felt that way. But Buffalo came out and looked like the best team in the league last week. So that kind of negates that whole philosophy of teams coming out flat off the bye. Uh-oh. Flag on the play, but he's returned it all the way to Baltimore's 38-yard line. This isn't against Miami. That's a great return if it is, and it's a bad play by their special teams. And the last game of the week is the Arizona Cardinals taking on the Dallas Cowboys. Now, a recent revelation that was just made by one of the reporters that covers the Cardinals is that when Kyler Murray was scheduled to meet with the press for their press obligations to answer questions, the Arizona Cardinals, because they're playing Monday night, so their practice week starts today, said a Arizona quarterback will be available for questions later in the week. So they didn't say Kyler Murray will be available. They said an Arizona quarterback. So could we get Jacoby Brissett another week? I liked Brissett. He got us the cover against the Packers. But he is a backup for a reason. And he's been a career-long backup. He'll give you a couple of good games. Now, they are coming off the bye. He will give you a couple of good games, but he's not the quarterback you want playing all season. So did Kyler re-aggravate the foot injury and we're going to get Brissett, or are we going to get Kyler Murray? I liked Arizona originally, and they still are in the 7. They're in my final 7 selections. Wait a minute. Are they? No. Now it's 8 selections with the Rams, but I originally liked Arizona, but this quarterback business has got me concerned. Dallas's defense is a sieve. Everybody's going to be able to score points on them, but Dallas's offense is incredible. They've got 2 of the better wide receivers in the league, a great tight end, a quarterback that's playing out of his mind, an offensive line that's actually playing well, and a running back that's found his footing in Dallas with Williams. So this offense is really humming for Dallas. I actually like Arizona better with Jacoby Brissett than I do with Kyler at this point, because I don't know what we're going to get from Kyler first game back. So I'm leaning Dallas minus the 2.5. It's another one of those 2.5 lines everybody loves so much, wanting to just take the under the field goal with the home team. It's kind of the reason why I steered off of this game. Arizona's been close in every game. I believe they've lost 4 or 5 games by like 14 points total. Like, they've lost games by 1 point twice this year. And we've got a field goal by Miami. It's a 1-score game. 20 points though, with 8 minutes to go in the half. So yeah, they need to slow it down a little bit. We still need Zay Flowers to score a touchdown, but that touchdown off the fumble was a killer. It's tough to go against Arizona when they've been so close in all of their games. And they've played some tough teams, man. So they played Seattle. They played the Colts. They played some really tough teams. So Yeah, this is a toughie. This is a tough one. I originally, like I said, I had Arizona plus the 2.5, but the quarterback news has got me concerned. The secondary for Dallas really has me concerned because all the good receivers for Arizona are back. And if it's Brissett, I actually like him better. If it's Jacoby Brissett, give me the Cardinals. If it's Kyler Murray, give me the Cowboys. That's where I'm leaving it here on Thursday night. So there you have it. That is the Circa Millions line release show for week 9 of the NFL season. We will be continuing the stream with the Thursday Night Football watch party as we try to sweat out our bets. Man, this under 50.5 is just hanging on by a thread right now with the way the scoring's going in the first half. But we're looking good. I mean, Zay Flowers, anytime touchdown score, that, we're going to need that eventually. But the other two, Achan's looking good on his receiving yards. And Derrick Henry, he's got 29 yards rushing on 7 attempts. Still 8 minutes to go in the second quarter. He's had a 14-yard run. That's his longest. Yeah, where is he? Achan's got 33 yards receiving right now. So he's only 8 yards away from topping that 40-yard number that we need. That was plus 120. But yeah, if it comes down to hitting the under or hitting the parlay with Zay Flowers scoring a touchdown, give me Zay Flowers to score that touchdown because that's plus 825. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Hit the notification bell so you know when we go live and when I release the shows. I've been releasing the clips of each one of our picks as well as the complete show. We've also got the college football watch party parlay up for this Saturday. We've got USC under 59.5. Let me flip over to here. There's some decent games this week, too. Some good games earlier in the day, and then we've got the Oklahoma-Tennessee game. And we've got the money line, Oklahoma, plus 130. I think their defense is better. Oh, damn it, it's not changing. We've got Georgia Tech money line taking on NC State. Now, that's minus 196, but with these other two, with the parlay of Oklahoma, because I didn't like the whole 6.5 with Georgia Tech. I think NC State might keep it under that number, but I think Georgia Tech will win this game. So I'm willing to add this big, almost minus 200 line to the parlay because we have Oklahoma, who's plus 130, and then the minus 110 for USC. It's plus 563, so just under the 6-1 that a normal 3 leg parlay would give you. But a couple of good games. USC going out to Nebraska, never an easy place to play. Oklahoma going out to Tennessee to take on a number 14 Vols, and Georgia Tech going to North Carolina to take on NC State, who's 4-4. So really liking that one. Again, we'll be live streaming Saturday at 6 p.m. Pacific for the line selection release show. And we'll have our final 5 selections for this week's Circa Millions contest to release to the public. Again, we're sitting at 23-17. And we are in 500th position, 3 points behind the paid positions of 70th place. So we're going to hopefully get a 5-0. That's why I'm not giving out my picks just yet. We're going to wait until Saturday because I really need to see these injury reports for a bunch of these teams. Make sure that we are getting the best possible 5 games in because we are hitting the midway point. It is week 9 of the 18-week contest. End of the second quarter. We need to finish strong. 5-0 would be the ideal situation. 30 points is where I like to be at the end of 9 weeks. If we go 5-0, we'll be at 28. We should put us right there. And that's all because of that bad 1-4 week that we had week 1. Really screwed me over on my system of how I try to score throughout the year. I believe I've said it before, but the first 4 weeks of the season, 14 points. The middle 10 weeks of the season, 33 points. In the final 4 weeks of the season, 14 points. If you do that, you end up with 61 points. That will put you in the top 10. You should at least make the top 10 with that kind of winning percentage. Now, I showed the slide earlier. Potato Commish is sitting at 31-9 right now, but he's just having an out. There's more than one person right there. But he is having a fantastic run here lately, going 10-0. But those kind of winning streaks, they don't always last. The difference is we have to have a big week, like a 5-0 or 4-1, on the week when he struggles and goes 3-2 or maybe even 2-3, so we can gain some spots and hopefully not have the same games as Potato Commish, because I know, or any of the leaders for that matter, because we need to gain ground on them. You can't do that when you're betting and picking the same team. So I gave out the ones I liked earlier for this week's lines. But we're going to, as they say, we're going to do a little adjustments between now and Saturday because we've got a lot of players, key players we don't know what the status is yet, and it could completely change the perspective on how these games will finish. So, they got Dan Marino in the house. All right, we don't need any more points this half. First and 10 at Miami's own 20. Was that a false start? No. All right, HN with a carry for no gain. Man, we'd be in great shape if it wasn't for that cheap touchdown off the fumble. And I wonder if anybody out there's been watching the World Series, man. Like, that's been a phenomenal series. Toronto won the rubber match game, Game 5, in L.A. So now L.A.'s got to go to Toronto and win 2 games. Toronto's just got to win 1 of 2 at home. I put a poll out on X. Be sure to follow me on X at Dead Money Sports. I release picks. I have polls. I give tidbits of information that I think are important to, the upcoming week's betting. I'm not a big bettor on NBA or MLB I do golf and NASCAR sometimes, but most of my stuff revolves around the NFL and the NFL contests. But there's other things I've put on X, but be sure to follow me there at Dead Money Sports. What's that? Hamilton or Marlon Humphrey? That dude's staying hurt this year. Uh-oh. False start on the offense now. Yep. Back him up. Back him up. But we will be live streaming on Saturday at 6 p.m. for the Circa Picks release show and the college football watch party. Number 18 Oklahoma taking on number 14 Tennessee is the marquee matchup that will be keeping track of the score, but we've got the other two games as well, so we'll have them all going. We'll have the quad boxes going on the big screen. All right, so now it's 2nd and 15. Throw it to Achan. Throw it to. Oh. Wow. That wasn't a face mask, though. He grabbed him by his upper shoulder. Man, that didn't look good on his knee, but thankfully he's limber. Yeah, he wrapped him. Yeah, that was a good tackle. Clean. Man, those gloves must be sticky. Nice play, though. 8-yard gain. Or they called timeout. That was a strange time to call timeout. I mean, they would have snapped the ball in time, so it wouldn't have been a penalty, but And we'll also have the live stream Monday nights at the conclusion of Monday Night Football. Now, this week's games they're not staggered start times. I believe they're at the same time, basically 5 and 5:15, right? Oh, I'm sorry. There's only one Monday night game. Why am I saying two? Seahawks and Commanders are Sunday night football, and Arizona and Dallas is the Monday night football game. So my bad. I looked at the times, didn't look at the dates. Waddle with the first down. Ooh, another catch by Waddle. Get him. Is he still up? Oh, okay. They blew the whistle. Oh, man, that's a big play. I don't want them to score any points this half. That's where Tua's at his best. The play action, quick pass. Uh-oh. Gordon's down. He looks like he's in serious pain too. Hopefully he's okay, but that just means Achan's going to get more time in the game now. Oh, he got rolled up on. It's always how it happens, right? That's always how it happens. Guys are blocking, and his ankle he's got it's a high ankle sprain. I've had one. It took me. I still have pain. It took years for it to really go away. Mine wasn't sports related though. I did my ankle sprain at work. Thankfully, I had high top boots on when I stepped on something and rolled my ankle. It didn't break it. I really need the Dolphins to not score here. A field goal wouldn't be the worst thing, but really no points at all would be great. Because every point that Miami scores, it just makes Zay Flowers scoring his touchdown more of a hindrance towards hitting that under. So we need him not to score. At worst, maybe a field goal. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Let's look at this again. Yeah, Henry. Now he's got 30 yards on 9 carries. 2 carries, he's only gotten 1 yard on that. That's tough. Zay Flowers, 2 receptions on 2 targets for 17 yards. Next week, the Las Vegas Raiders heading out to Mile High to take on the Broncos on Thursday Night Football, and we'll be right here live streaming on Dead Money Sports with the Week 10 Circa Lines release show and Thursday Night Football watch party. I'll be releasing any picks that I have for that game on X before the game starts, so be sure to follow me at Dead Money Sports. Achan, is that a run or a pass? I didn't see. Hopefully it was a dump off pass. He's in the. No. Oh, nope, it was a handoff. Shit. Gordon walked off under his own power, but he was hot. He was gimpy, and we're at the 2 minute warning. He was gimpy, so we don't. I don't know what we're going to get from him for the rest of the game. So that means Achan's going to be the number one back, even though he's not the best at pass blocking. He's definitely their best receiving back. We got the lines up again while we're in commercial break. I mean, can somebody please tell me why this Colts team is only -3? Can anybody out there please tell me in the comments why Pittsburgh is the right side? Because I've heard it. Other than everyone telling me that it's time to fade the Colts, like you got to give me like a real reason why um, the best team in football, at least record wise, is only a 3-point favorite on the road against a team we just saw lose at home on Sunday Night Football. Yeah, tell me how does Pittsburgh win this game? Like I can understand people saying, "All right, yeah, I think they're going to win, yada yada yada." But give me like something you know, tangible. Like they're going to be able to throw the ball. Their tight ends, that's probably the only way. Their tight ends are going to dominate in this game. Their defense is going to be able to cause turnovers. Like I need something that, you know, that I can digest other than just saying this is because I went with the Tomlin rah-rah spot last week. And what I saw from that team was not inspiring in any way. They were winning in the first half, but they just looked horrible in the second half. And if you go back and you actually look at how they got the lead in the first half, it had a lot to do with some questionable officiating and calls that were beneficial to Pittsburgh than it really was an efficient offense that moved the ball down the field to score points. They were kicking like plus 50-yard field goals. I like Boswell. You know, he's good. He did great last week, but I don't know, man. I know we've seen this Colts team struggle at times. They struggled at home against the Broncos, but that was a good Broncos defense. They struggled at home against the Cardinals. Now they're going on the road. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how we get there. I don't know how they win this game. Unless they have turnover luck. That's the only possible scenario I could see where this Pittsburgh Steelers team can win this game. Now, I will say this Pittsburgh Steelers team is very good at creating turnovers. They didn't do a good job of it against the Packers, but the Packers aren't really known for turning the ball over anyway. All right, come on, Baltimore. Tighten up. Don't let them score. Man, they keep handing it off to Achane. I need him to throw it to Achane. All this wear and tear on his body. I don't want him to get hurt before he gets his numbers for us. I mean, I don't want to see him hurt at all, but Ollie Gordon looks like he's headed to the locker room right now, so who knows? He's probably not coming back for this game. Timeout Baltimore. So even Baltimore now, they're trying to save some time to maybe score before the end of half. I mean, Miami's already in field goal range, although their kicker missed a short one earlier. But they need to hold them out of the end zone. 3rd and 2. We either need an incompletion or a sack. It's a bad handoff. Yep, he lost yards. Or a bad exchange between the center and Tua. Looked like he bobbled the ball. 4th down. Holding them to a field goal try, I think. Or will McDaniels go for it? He's looking at his call sheet. Baltimore take another timeout. Yeah. All right. 4th and 2. And they're going to go for it, looks like. They're at least lining up to go for it. McDaniel's wandering down by the ref just to call a timeout, maybe. Man, this would be awesome if they stop him here. Are they just going to fake it? Nope, they snapped it. And he way overthrew his man. Woohoo! Stopped him on. Stopped him. Stopped him. Stopped him. And they are, Baltimore is way backed up in their own area, so they're not going for it. Yeah, it looks okay. Ollie Gordon is questionable right now to return. He's in the locker room. So Baltimore on their own 14-yard line with a minute to go, minute 4 seconds isn't. I don't think they're going to get crazy. They got no timeouts. Easy, Lamar. Don't get too wild. And incomplete, out of bounds. Incomplete, out of bounds to Mark Andrews. Yeah, that's the last thing we need, is another one of those situations like we had with the first Baltimore touchdown where where the Dolphins end up with a short field on a turnover. So just hand the ball to Derrick Henry. Let me gain some of them garbage time yards. Or who they got in there now? Keaton Mitchell? Hill? Justice Hill's in there right now? Yeah, because he's their receiving back. Damn. Well, they're going to throw it again. Watch it, Lamar. And he dumps it off to Justice Hill. Yeah, I don't know. Now, is Miami calling timeout? Yeah, now Miami calling a timeout. Sure to hit that like and subscribe button. I need to get the subscribers up over 1,000 so that I can unlock some of the features of this channel. If you get anything from these picks or any of it, please let the algorithm know and let me know. I put a lot of time and effort into each one of these videos. Not just the video itself, but all the other aspects that go into it with all the artwork and everything. It's a one-man show, so I'd appreciate it. It doesn't cost you anything just to hit that like button. All right, 3rd and 5, 46 seconds on their own 17-yard line. And he's tackled short of the first down. There's a flag on the play. This is going to be on the defense. If it's on the offense, they'll decline it. If it's on the defense, it's going to be an automatic first down more than likely. Oh, yep, declined. 4th down. All right, so it looks like Baltimore is going to have to punt. Depending on where Miami gets, where they get the ball at. Obviously they're going to try to do something with it. They need to score. They've only got 40 seconds, though. 41 seconds, but they're going to lose about 8 seconds on the punt. Nice kick. Backed him way up. Oh, and over his head. And then he finally fields it at the 20-ish yard line, and he gets tackled at his own 18-yard line. That was gorgeous. Gorgeous. Thank you very much. We needed that. Because I don't think Miami's going to do much with the ball here. Unless they try to throw it deep. They've got Chop Robinson ruled out. That's a big deal. That's big for the running game. He's one of their key defensive linemen to stop Derrick Henry. We need Derrick Henry to pick up the pace, man. He's not doing so well this game. He's on my fantasy team, too. He has, no points at all. Another run to Achan. Oh, damn, he almost broke that shit. Out to the 31, though, and Miami calls their final timeout. He almost broke that, but we need him to throw him the ball. He's got 67 yards rushing, 12 carries. Come on, Baltimore. Somebody on your defense make a play. There it is. Well, a couple of receiving yards to Achane anyway. Maybe one or two. Every bit counts when you're that close to the number. So he's got 34 yards receiving now. We are 7 shy of hitting the plus 120 and checking one leg off of our parlay. Oh, no. They got it to the 50, so they're going to have to clock it, but this is going to be the only play they're going to have left. So this is going to be a Hail Mary because there's no way in hell they're going to kick it from here. They said it'd be 69 yards from here. So they got to go for the Hail Mary, right? Yep. They're lining up for it. I don't know. Oh, they're throwing it short. They tried to gain some yards. They still got 1 second left. Tua's going to have to throw like a rainbow. He doesn't have a strong arm. And Kirk Herbstreit just said what I said. He doesn't have a huge arm. They're bringing some heat on him. They're not letting him sit back there. And he just goes down for the sack. All right, so we're ending the first half 14-6. 14-6 Ravens. We're looking good on the under. We need Derrick Henry to get it going with the running game, and we need Zay Flowers at some point to score a touchdown. Achane's very close to going over the 40 yards receiving. We're going to take a break during halftime and be back for the second half of the Thursday night football watch party and sweat out the remainder of these bets. So don't go anywhere. second half here on Dead Money Sports in the gambling parlor for the finale of the Thursday Night Football Watch Party, where we'll be sweating out our bets here on Dead Money Sports on YouTube. Let's go ahead and pull this back up. And let's hope that Derrick Henry gets one of those big long runs that he's known for, because we really need it. Obviously, the Zay Flowers touchdown, that's always going to be a long shot. Andrews has both touchdowns tonight. But it's definitely going to be the hardest leg to get of the parlay. But with Henry only with 32 yards on 10 carries, 3.2 yards a carry, we're going to need a big run from him. And now he's getting a dump off. Ooh. Not much there on that catch. Man, this has got to be gut-wrenching if you've got Miami minus the 7.5 to see how it's sitting at 8 points right now. It's just that perfect storm of way the points are being scored to end up screwing you over by half a point. But we got the under 50.5, so we're looking good with 20 points in the first half. Ooh, watch out, Lamar. Oh, and he turns on the Jets. He got tripped up, but he got the first down. Yeah, if he doesn't get that shoestring tackle on him, because the running back was running out there as a lead blocker, man, he had all types of grass to go. Yeah, he clipped his foot. That was it. Uh-oh, somebody's down for the Dolphins. He's getting back up. Miami leading the game in time of possession, but it's kind of misleading when they had that one big drive that ended in no points. Jack Jones, the guy that's down. He looked like he was okay. That look on Mike McDaniel's face says a lot. But yeah, looking good on the under, but it's early. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Ooh, and a nice catch by Likely. See, if Baltimore gets out to a lead, they're going to want to run the ball to chew up the clock, which is good for us with our Derrick Henry leg. He's not playing. He's not in right now. Who's that? Zay Flowers again? Yeah. We need him to get one of those throws down near the end zone. Second and 7. We're already down to under 12 minutes. I mean, yeah, just keep that clock just a ticking away. Matriculate the ball down the field. Derrick Henry's still not in. Now it looks like it's Justice Hill. And their screen pass to the running back. Another first down for Baltimore. I think that Chop Robinson injury for the Dolphins is really going to hurt them. He's probably their best pass rusher, although he does freelance a lot and like doesn't stick to his proper technique in where he's supposed to be in the play, but he's still one of their better players. They got a couple of guys out. Oh, that's Ollie Gordon. Oop, and there's Likely again. Another first down for Baltimore. All right, let's get it to Zay Flowers. Come on, Zay. I'm right behind him. Threw it right behind his ear. Faked it to Henry and right behind the linebacker's ear. And they run it with Keaton Mitchell. I need Zay Flowers. Come on, Zay. I need him to get it out of the way now so we can root for a boring game the rest of the way where there's no more scoring. He's open. Get in that end zone. Get in. Oh, he didn't even get the first down. Third down, though. Oh, at least I know Lamar's looking for him. They ran that crossing route with Zay Flowers out of a bunch set, stacked receivers. And Lamar likes that guy over the middle there. He normally doesn't throw over the middle deep, but the shorter routes to tight ends and crossing. Oh, they did the tush push with Andrews. First down. What I like about when Andrews does that is when he snaps the ball, he immediately protects it. He immediately puts it away. No way to punch that out. I mean, unless they just perfect shot right on it. All right. Flowers down at the bottom of the screen. They're going to run it to Henry. I would. Nope, fakes it. No, not fucking, who is this? Kohler, the other tight end. No. Damn it. Damn, tight ends are eating today. They kind of look like they were running it for Flowers, but again, he's covered down there. He gets bumped right inside, and everybody's right there. There's no one there. They all went with Flowers. Nobody went with the tight end. Mm. 21-6. Man. You know, big favorites on Thursday Night Football this season have been, not good to back. They've been losing straight up. Now, last week, the Chargers won as a favorite, but they were only a 3-point favorite. So I wouldn't consider that a big favorite. But when you're 7.5 points, 8.5 points, that big number, and you win the game and you lose the game outright. That's not good. I'm wondering how many people are on Baltimore. Nobody's on the Dolphins in Survivor, but I wonder how many people in the millions submitted early to use Baltimore tonight, or went with the Dolphins. I will hold my uh, congratulations for the great pick till the end, because there's one thing Baltimore knows how to do. It's how to give up a double-digit lead. They can get out ahead of you early. They can front run with the best of them. And then down the stretch, they'll give up points here, punt, give up points there, punt, turnover, something like that. Another garbage time touchdown. And before you know it, that 17-point lead is now a 7-point lead. And since Baltimore is always scoring so many points, they're a lot of times they're a big favorite. And I know a few times I've had them blow double-digit leads to spoil a spread, and then hold on to win the game. It's like, damn. Mm. Flag on the play. Now, them scoring a touchdown there, it's not great. But the fact that it took 7 minutes off the clock, they basically held the ball for half the quarter already. That's a good return, a point a minute, basically. What we need now is for Miami to move the ball a little bit and then have to punt. Yep, they got him. Just don't fumble it, Tua. Give him the ball right there at the goal line. But they got the sack. Well, they're going to be throwing the ball, so we've got an opportunity to get some more receptions for Achan. Because it doesn't look like Gordon's coming back. I think he was, that's who they showed running on the bike, trying to get loose. Just don't do anything stupid. Hand off to Achan. Oh, brother. They're going to end up giving Baltimore a short field. We need a we need a penalty on the defense, some kind of illegal contact or holding or something, pass interference, something. We need a cheap first down for Miami. It's not looking good. Watch out. That wasn't it, Tua. That was not it. He about gave up a pick six. Miami's fans are letting them hear it now. They're not happy. But they were in a bad spot. That sack really set them, put them in a dangerous position where they had to play conservatively. So who's going to be Miami Dolphins coach next year? Look at this. Oh my goodness. The ball is on Miami's side of the 40-yard line. And they got a penalty. Now that'll back them up a little bit, but so they're going to have the ball like at the 50-yard line. That's a cool graphic. They're going to have to, Miami's going to have to hold Baltimore to at least a field goal attempt. Like, they can't give up another touchdown right here with this short field. And the thing that concerns me is we're going to have guys out there that are going to be making business decisions. Like, they're going to give effort because it's on tape. And, they got to have a spot on a team next year or for the remainder of this year for that matter. But guys aren't going to be trying to tackle the way they should be. This might be where we get that big run from Derrick Henry. I mean, Miami's defense, they haven't been great anyway. Now, I mean, they're just getting blown out. Their offense ain't doing shit. They've got 2 field goals. Man, that's going to be interesting if Arizona does end up sitting Kyler Murray. If he's re-injured himself or re-aggravated that ankle, then I could understand why they would want to give him another week to make sure he's right, especially if he tweaked it like in practice. But if they're going to start Jacoby Brissett over a Kyler Murray who could play right now, I don't know, man. That's weird because he's got a big contract. Kyler Murray does. I know that's not the only factor, but he definitely gives you a chance to win. I mean, they weren't getting blown out when he was the quarterback. He frustrates me when I watch him play because of the way he pre-reads the defenses because he can't see over the offensive line. And if you got a defense that can disguise their coverages well, you can really mess him up. He doesn't have the same contested catch wide receivers he's had before, like DeAndre Hopkins. Does Jacoby Brissett give the Cardinals a better opportunity to win? All right, here goes Derrick Henry now. Yeah. Why'd the ball go back that far? I don't know, but I guess it gives us more distance between there and the goal for Henry to try to get some cheap rushing yards here. Now Mitchell. Ooh, big tackle, big hit. And the Miami player is slow to get up. Get in the end zone. Oh my God, he got tackled by the ankle. Oh. Oh, we needed that. We needed that touchdown badly. Maybe they'll throw it to him again. I doubt it. They're going to run it. I hope he's looking for him. He's looking for him. Who is it? Bateman? Fuck. There's a flag on the play, though. It's holding on the defense. Touchdown, Baltimore, but it was Bateman. No! Damn. He was looking at fucking Flowers again. But they ran him on the inside in the slot, and he was covered. He's looking for him, but he's covered. Ugh. Damn it. Yeah, they're putting an ass whooping on him now. Damn, I can't believe they tackled fucking Flowers by the shoe. He had that deep catch. Lamar Jackson with 4 touchdown passes tonight. It's getting ugly. It's getting ugly. There's still a lot of time left in this game. Back-to-back touchdown drives by the Ravens. I knew that short field was going to bite us. Even with that penalty on the kick on the punt, they still just moved it right on down the field with that big throw to Zay Flowers, and he doesn't score the touchdown. Shit. We needed that. catch that? That was another run for Achan. He's got 35 yards. We need him to get a few more. Oh, he threw it to him too. He wasn't looking. Uh-oh. They're really booing him now. 3rd and 9. The fans down in South Beach are not happy. I don't blame them. I mean, the entire dynamic of their offense changed when Tyreek Hill got hurt. Even at his age, he was still dynamic, with his speed and his ability to track the ball in the air for not a big guy is incredible. It just changes this team. Oh, he dropped it. Nice punt, though. Gonna back Baltimore up pretty good. Opportunity for Derrick Henry to get some more rushing yards. Come on, Derrick Henry. Where's he at? 41 yards. I guess he's feeling better. Lamar Jackson's feeling better. Same number of touchdowns as he does incompletions. That's something. I wonder if he's even going to play the fourth quarter. If they score another touchdown, I don't. I wonder if they put Huntley in. Here we go. Here we go. There we go. Derrick Henry, turn it on. Turn on the juice. Oh, nice. That was a big run. What was that? 40 yards? Yeah, he busted it to the outside. They were all stuck on the inside, and now it's all about who wants it more. 76 yards. Nice. That was a good one. We're still in the third quarter, so back to Keaton Mitchell. Hmm. Come on. That's plus 110 for Derrick Henry to have over 100 rushing yards. I don't know about the Zay Flowers touchdown. We're going to have to get it on this drive, I think. We need to hit one of the other ones first. Achan's still not over 40 yet. He's close though at 35. And the fact that he's one of their better receiving options with a team that's down this many points, I think we have an opportunity for him to go over that one. The big one's Zay Flowers, man. The tight end stealing all the touchdowns. And then Bateman got free. They've looked. I've seen Lamar. He's looking right at Flowers. It's just he was covered. You can't throw it to him if he's not open. And the ankle tackle on the big play. That was our shot. He's going deep. Who's he throwing it to? Hopkins. 4th and 7, so they're going to punt. All right. We're still looking okay with the under. As long as there's no big explosives. But we still need Zay Flowers, man. Shit. Miami's going to have terrible field position to start this play or start this drive inside their own 10-yard line. Tough hill to climb, down 22 points. Mm. Yeah, who's that? Washington? Yep. We are in the fourth quarter. 28 to 6. 28 to 6. Derrick Henry with 76 yards rushing. Achane with 35 yards receiving, and Zay Flowers hasn't scored a touchdown. And the only way Lamar Jackson comes out in the fourth quarter is if Miami scores something here. If Miami has like a drive, and obviously they're going to have to go for touchdowns, field goals ain't going to cut it. They get stopped on, say, fourth down or have a turnover or something after a drive and waste a bunch of time. I think we see Huntley come out. I don't know if we see Henry again in the game. We need Achane to get that 6 yards of receiving that we need. No negative plays. Mm. Achane. Ugh. The good thing is he's in the game, so we know Miami's going to be throwing, and he's definitely the safety valve for Tua. First down, Miami. All right, another set of downs, another opportunity for Achane. Let us at least get one leg in the books. Oh, he's looking for him. Oh, he got it. Nice. That's Achane. That's the winner right there. That's the winner right there. That was a catch, right? Oh, yeah, he caught it all day. Achane. 55 yards receiving. That's the winner. Is he challenging it? No. His hands are under it, right? I mean, why'd he go back to here? They call it incomplete already? No, yeah, it says 6 receptions for 56 yards, so Derrick Henry, the eighth player in NFL history to reach at least 12,000 career rushing yards and 100 career rushing touchdowns. He's got a gold jacket in his future. Oh, man. So we're back to 35 yards again. Shit. At least he's throwing it to him. We got 14 minutes to go. Boo. Third and one. They need this first down. Washington in the backfield. H.A.N. lined up outside as a receiver. Oh, that was an interception that dropped it. Roquan Smith dropped it. Fourth and one. Boy, he had that one. You got to get on. He's got to get on the jugs machine now. After dropping that one, that was an incentive touchdown there. Those are the ones that get you your end of the year incentives when the quarterback throws it right to you. You dropped it. Quick pass, but he got it. First down. Wilson Jr. All right, so Miami at least keeps possession of the ball. We have more opportunities for Achan to get his over again. We got robbed on that reception. I mean, I don't know. It came loose out of his hands after he hit the ground. At what point is it deemed he had to survive the ground? Does he have to like roll over and show it to the ref that he still has the ball and never lost possession? Or is it when he slams into the ground? Nice catch by Waddle. Mm. Is there anybody in the area? Intentional grounding. Yeah, that's what I thought. There was nobody around there. So we need them now. We need Baltimore to shut them down now. No points for Miami here. So good. Yeah, there was nobody around. HN's running inside. So now it's 3rd and 12. Good. Stop them, Baltimore, because they got to go for touchdowns. Obviously, field goals ain't gonna do nothing. Throw it to HN. Throw it to HN. Damn you, fucking Tua. He was right in front of you. You could have just pitched it to the running back. 4th and 11 now. We need Baltimore to stop them here. There's still plenty of time for Miami to have another possession in this game. They are close enough for points, so we need them to shut them down. Oh, he got the first down on 4th and 11. How does he get open like that? Ooh, another bad pass. Oh, they're calling pass interference on Wiggins. I mean, he actually got to the ball. Like, I don't really know how that was pass interference. Fumble. Fumble. And Baltimore's got it. Bingo. That's what we needed. Stopped the drive at the 5. That's what I was wondering. He rolled over and didn't have the ball in his hand anymore. Is he down? Nope, that's out. That's way out. He wasn't even close to being down. An easy recovery by Baltimore. Yeah, one guy's ripping, one guy's punching, and that ball drops. Humphreys with the recovery. Bada bing, bada boom. A bunch of time off the clock. 0 points for Miami. Baltimore's starting the drive deep in their own territory. These are the moments when Derrick Henry breaks off the big runs. I mean, he had a nice long run earlier. We still need him to get over 100 yards rushing. And I don't know. Are they going to? I wonder who's coming out. Is it going to be Huntley? Is it going to be Lamar? Is it going to be Derrick Henry? Is it going to be Keaton Mitchell and Justice Hill? I mean, it's 28-6. I don't know if it's maybe Lamar, but he hasn't played in 4 weeks, so he needs the reps. But at the same time, you don't want something bad to happen just because he's in the game. I mean, I know like Bill Belichick was saying, if you can tell me the play when what play the player's going to get hurt, I'll take him out one before. You just don't know when injuries are going to happen. But every play that they're on the field, it increases the possibility. Hmm. Damn, I can't believe they called back that reception by HN. That would have put us way over the 40. Way over the 40 yards receiving. Mm. Yeah, they're not you're not avoiding anything by leaving early because everybody's leaving early. There he goes. There he goes. How many yards is that? Derrick Henry with a big run on first down. What was that? That was a good 18 yard. 95 he's got. Come on, Henry. Oh, Henry. All right, you got another carry. It's a couple more yards. This is when you batter them. This is when you hammer them. 97. Woo. Some fancy footwork by Lamar Jackson there to avoid that rush. There was two guys that almost sacked him. He got away and turned it into a positive play. 3rd and 5. I don't know if they're gonna get come out on the next drive. And he gets sacked. Don't tell me that Derrick Henry's gonna end on 97 yards. I do like that Miami's getting the ball back though, because at least we got an opportunity for Achan to get a little more receiving yards. We need him to get over 40. He's got 35. I thought we had it earlier, and then they called it back. And that one goes out of bounds. The punt's out of bounds at the, looks like the 17-yard line. So I ask again, who's going to be the head coach for the Miami Dolphins next year? Oh, it's not going to be 5 yards. Oh, it's not going to be 5 yards. Achane with the reception, though, for positive yards. We're so close. $39. We're so close. He needs one more positive reception. Throw it to him, Tua. Damn it. They got another first down, though. Woo. That was close. Bobble balls turn into interceptions. I need Miami to maintain possession. I can't believe he's needs one more yard. Oh, he's going deep. And it's intercepted. You sorry sack of shit. Flag on the play. That's probably going to be after the interception, though. Oh, man, that hurts. $39. So the defense committed a blindside block on the interception return, but we're so close to getting that Achane over 40 yards. 39 yards. Damn it. I mean, Miami could get another possession, but we'll see. I need Derrick Henry to get at least 4 more yards rushing. I don't know if he'll get another carry in this game. Oh, right here. Boom. Yeah, you can't do that. But he's in the game. Come on, Derek. Oh, they're trying to get him 100. They're trying to get him 100. So close. 98 yards. Damn, he lost yards. Third and 10. got the first down. So they'll get him a few more tries, I guess, to get him that 100 yards. There we go. That's over 100. Thank you, Derrick Henry. Thank you, Derrick Henry. You're not going to take it away now, right? 110. That's a winner. Plus 110. ETN's going to end up going us, and Zay Flowers ain't getting a touchdown, but at least we got one winner. It wasn't a total loss. And the under's looking good, which was the main bet, along with the parlay. Yeah, they took him. Oh, no, that's still Henry. More yards. Yeah, Miami's not getting the ball back. So we're going to miss out on that HN over 40 yards by 1 yard. And then obviously Zay Flowers didn't score a touchdown. All the touchdowns went to the tight ends. And Bateman, 2 to Andrews and 1 to Kohler. They're like way lined up in the neutral zone. He did back up, though, just in time. Well, I think this game is about officially over. They're at the 2-minute warning. They just got the first down. I think they can kneel it out the rest of the way. Miami's not going to waste their timeouts. There's no point. No need in getting anybody hurt. They're not going to score 22 points in 2 minutes. But it looks like we're going to get burned on this HN by 1 yard receiving. Well, 2 yards. He needed over 40. 40 plus. Derrick Henry got it done for us. He got over 100 yards rushing at plus 110. No touchdown by Zay Flowers. 5 receptions on 5 targets for 64 yards. He had that one big catch, the 39-yarder, but got tackled by his shoestring, or he would have scored a touchdown. Better luck next time on that one. And pretty sure we're going to hit our under 50.5, which was the big bet. I guess they can't run it completely out. Running it with Keaton Mitchell now. Well, I guess it's safe to say we're not going over 50.5. Again, we got the over 100 yards for Derrick Henry. No touchdown by Zay Flowers. And we lost out on the over 40 yards receiving for Achane by 2 yards. He had 39. We needed 40 plus. So tough way to end the night. But it's always difficult, but at least we got the under 50.5. As I said, that was the main bet. But so if you missed out on the first half of the show with the early lines discussion for the Circa Million, that's up on YouTube. You can find it there. Otherwise, join me this Saturday at 6 p.m. Pacific for the NFL contest Circa Picks release show and the college football watch party and the Monday night late night at the lounge at the conclusion of Monday Night Football. I want to thank everybody for joining me for the live stream. Hopefully you cashed a few bets tonight. See you on Saturday.